Welcome to New Hampshire's Business. I'm Fred Coker. New Hampshire and Vermont have a major construction skilled worker shortage. Keyword is skilled. It's impacting housing, commercial, and highway projects in both states. And now here's a quote from one of my guests. 10 years ago, the average worker on a construction team was in their mid to late 40s, and now they're in their mid to late 50s. Finding workers was a challenge then, and today it's a crisis. That's Josh Reep, president of Associated Builders and Contractors of New Hampshire, Vermont. With me to brief us on the key issues facing the construction industry in New Hampshire and Vermont is Josh Reep, as I said, president of the Associated Builders and Contractors of New Hampshire, Vermont, based in Concord, and Daryl Luter, president of Fulcrum Associates, a construction management firm based in Amherst. Welcome to you both. Nice to have you here.
Great to be here, Fred.
Both of your organizations are focused on construction projects across the board in New Hampshire and Vermont. But the common denominator is skilled workforce, and you've told me that, and I'm giving it back to you. What's caused that skilled workforce shortage, and what's being done about it? Josh?
Yeah, the problem is we've been telling people go to college for the last 2 generations. Go to college, and it's disrupted the normal way people got into the trades. It used to be your dad was in, you go to work with them, or your uncle, or your mom, or niece. And so we have that gap now today, and because no one came into the trade, so not enough people came into the trades. We now have a crisis where there's not enough people that can swing hammers, read a tape measure, and perform construction today.
Yeah, Daryl, same question. What kind of trades we're talking about?
So it's everything from carpentry, HVAC, electrical, just about anything that involves hand tools. Masonry is another big one. We're seeing the workforce aging out, retiring.
But you're doing something about it. You've started an academy to train people in the skilled workforce. We
did. We founded the Vermont Construction Academy this year at the direction of many of our general contractors in Vermont and New Hampshire. Said we are a solutions-based industry. We're literally going to start building people. We're going to take people that are coming out of CT centers or people off the street that want a good career locally here with great paying benefits and everything go with it. And we're going to teach them how to do these skilled trade labor programs.
So now, housing. Number one issue in New Hampshire, according to the latest UNH poll. $540,000 a medium cost for a house, $2,000 a month, probably a rent for a 2-bedroom apartment on the average in New Hampshire right now. What has to be done to build affordable housing? Daryl?
So you have to look at the zoning regulatory side of things. Lot size is a big one. A lot of municipalities are focused on 5-acre lots, when in reality you need to increase density so you can build more homes. But a lot of other municipalities also take into considerations like groundwater and sewer that are challenges. So if you can increase density, you can increase everything on the market and hopefully bring prices down.
Josh, same question.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it has to be a conversation to dispel myths and rumors about what density is. It's not about taking a small rural town and making it look like a city. It's about saying our towns are changing economically. So you can either change it through smart growth reforms, or let the free market keep dictating and pricing your kids out of homes.
Highways. New Hampshire, Vermont drivers will face, I'm told, a set of highway construction projects, repaving, as we've already seen across the state. But there are funding gaps that are looming from the state and the federal government. The Highway Trust Fund in particular, is there a problem here?
I think our state's pretty resilient and they can find ways to make things work. The good news compared to some of our other states in the region, New Hampshire is much more nimble and dynamic. We don't have a lot of the burdensome regulations that Massachusetts may have. So we can get a lot more done with less dollars.
So they should go along okay this summer with the paving and the reconstruction?
Well, hopefully. I mean, everything that we've been seeing, the state has been focusing on trying to make sure that what they are doing with the roads is going to last a lot longer.
More women in construction these days, right?
Yeah, there is. Yeah, we're seeing an uptick in that, which is great.
Actually running construction firms.
Absolutely.
And how has that happened? I mean, is it because they have been trained? They've gone to your academy, for instance?
Yeah, so a lot of women coming in realize that there's no pay disparity between men and women in construction. There's more equal opportunity in construction than any other sector of the economy.
And I think we've also upped the awareness as well for the trade itself.
Absolutely. Some of the best project managers that are out there are women.
Real quick, a quote. As a company, here's a quote from Todd Benson of Benson Custom Homes in Walpole. As a company, we are here with everything in place to produce really high quality, more affordable, accessible homes. We should be ramping up production. Our backlog is strong. Due to chaos, we can't do anything. He asks, will the tariffs be instituted? Nobody knows. And that is a question that is laying there with no answer. Thanks to Josh Reap, President of Associated Builders and Contractors, and Darrell Luter, President of Fulcrum Associates. Appreciate it. If you missed part of this briefing on construction in New Hampshire, you can go to WMUR.com, where it will be posted all this week.